Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dalar's Twi'lek Tactics. Boy, oh boy, we got coming to the game my girl, Katie Sackhoff, a.k.a. Kara Thrace, a.k.a. Bo-Katan Kryze, a.k.a. GK's sister-in-law, a.k.a. the ruler of Mandalore, a.k.a. the Night Owl herself, the former Death Watch. The accolades continue. Bo-Katan Kryze, the daughter of Satine, the Duchess Satine. Alright, normally I don't go over kits in game, but we are going to go over her because she's going to be awesome. I can't wait. So, she is light side, she's an attacker, she's a leader, she's a Mandalorian, and surprisingly, she's a scoundrel. So that could be interesting. What does she do? She calls fellow Mandalorians to assist, dealing more damage every time they do so. Well, for one turn. We'll get into that. Stronger together. So this is, they discussed that she is the offensive Mandalorian leader, whereas the armor is the defensive leader. I don't buy that. The armor kind of sucks as a leader, but maybe there's some use for that. I don't know. Well, time will tell. You know, her suggested synergies, I don't agree with them. I don't agree that the Mandalorian, even if you're running Mandalorian lead, I don't think she'd be as good underneath him. If he's underneath her, okay, I can see that, but yeah, maybe not. The Mandalorian does have a place in the season 1 Mandalorian scoundrel team. He just does. He's a great leader. He's a scoundrel leader with Terminator manipulation. So he's great on that team. And as of yet, I don't think you're really going to want to pull him off. Jango, Jango's great. He'd be good under Bo-Katan, but he fits really well with the bounty hunters. I would not want to pull Jango off the bounty hunters. Now, all that being said, if you wanted to create like a kind of a super team with Bo-Katan, Mandalorian armor, Jango, and Sabine Wren, maybe that'd be really cool, but you're breaking up 3 teams to make 1. And we'll get into what I am going to try to run after we run through her kit. So, we're not going to read any of that. Actually, this is not the kit. Let's go to the kit. So, light side, yes, we've already discussed her tags. So, basic is practiced aim. Deal physical damage to target enemy if it is Bo-Katan's turn. Inflict vulnerable. So, on her basic, inflict vulnerable if it's her turn and you're doing it. For 1 turn. Vulnerable is the same mechanic that Jedi Knight Luke does. And let me just pull that up in game so I can tell you exactly what vulnerable is. I don't know. I'll find that out later. So she inflicts vulnerable. I think that guarantees crit hits if able, which is good because every time you crit, I think there's something. We'll see. We'll remember that. Vulnerable. Otherwise, she deals 50% more damage. So if she gets called to assist, and there's a lot of call to assist in this kit, if she gets called to assist, she's going to be doing 50% more damage that's on her basic. Special 1. She only has, I do believe, 2 moves. Crippling Strike, and that is, let's just pause a minute to enjoy that animation, because that animation is pretty spectacular. Dispel all buffs on all enemies, so it's a mass dispel, which is nice, and then daze them for 2 turns, which is also really nice. So that is a great move. It is a 4-turn cooldown though, so she's basically just gonna be basicking and a lot of basics, because that's it. And deal physical damage to them. Okay, yeah, so she's a physical damage character, obviously. Her unique, which is excellent. This should be a leader. But it's a Zeta. It's her 1 Zeta, so she's a 1 Zeta character, which is really nice. At the start of battle, Mandalorian allies gain 20% max protection for each Mandalorian ally until she's defeated. Whenever a Mandalorian attacks out of turn, and this is her unique, remember, Mandalorian allies recover 8% health and protection. So, if you didn't want to run her as a lead, if you wanted to run her, say, under Beskar Mando. All right, so who are you going to bring in? You're going to bring in Beskar Mando. You're going to bring in Bo-Katan. You're going to bring in IG and Queel. So then I guess you're leaving Nest or Kara off, which, you know, that could work. That could work very well, actually. So she may just slot right into that team, and then Kara can go back to Mon Mothma. But actually, it's Mando, Bo, IG, Queel, yeah, and Kara. Who am I missing? Oh, no. And then probably Cara Dune or Nest. So maybe you keep Cara Dune, and then Nest can go back to wherever she was going. I don't know. I think Nest works really well on the Beskar Mando team, though. But so every time, and in that case, there's only going to be 2 Mandalorians. So you're not going to really gain the benefit of her unique unless you're running all Mandalorians. And you notice it's whenever a Mandalorian attacks out of turn, which her lead is going to do quite a bit. So that's what, you know, given her unique, which is so good, I don't think you're going to run her as something that isn't a leader. And what is her leader? When a Mandalorian ally uses a basic, which she's going to be basicing a lot, they call another random Mandalorian ally to assist, dealing 20% less damage unless it's her, and she's going to be doing 50% more damage. Whenever a Mandalorian ally attacks out of turn, they gain 25% crit damage stacking until the end of their next turn. So you're probably not going to get to 5. Although remember, if you have the armor on your team, she's going to be calling people to attack out of turn as well, using basics. So you could ramp up 50, 75 easily. So they're going to be hitting like cannons when they get to go, and they're going to get 100% max protection if you're running her from her unique. At the start of the encounter, all Mandalorian allies gain an ability called Ancestral Armor. Now this is why I think she's going to be... You're not going to want to put her on defense because the AI is not going to know what to do. They're going to keep spamming that. You don't want Bo-Katan to spam Ancestral Armor because it's going to be taunt, right? Like, remember back in the day when we first had Thrawn, and you'd run Thrawn lead, and everyone would keep on using maneuver, and the AI would just screw it up. This character, if you run her, you're probably going to run her offensively so that you can control this. And where this is good is this Ancestral Armor. In my opinion, they built that specifically for Gar Saxon, and we'll get to that why as well. And what does our Ancestral Armor do? Dispel all buffs on them. They gain defensive up, taunt, and tenacity up for 2 turns. Basically, they get really tanky. All right, and that is it. I like the kit. I'm excited. Will I wail on her? I don't know. All right, let's go to my game, and we'll discuss some team possibilities. Okay, so the armor is kind of a no-brainer because I do believe it is this one: inflict armor shred and call all Mandalorian allies and allies with Beskar armor to assist, dealing 10% less damage. But Bo-Katan is going to deal 50% more damage. So that move is going to do a lot of damage, and it's going to build up those crit damage stacks, right? And she's fast. I don't know how fast Bo-Katan is yet. I haven't looked up Star Wars Galaxy Heroes GG. But, you know, my armor, she's going to be over 300 speed. So if she goes first, I don't know if you're going to want to armor shred. Oh, no, this does. So in my opinion, running this team, you're going to run her as really, really fast. Kind of like what, right? You're going to do this move, which inflicts armor shred and calls everyone to assist. And then she's going to have 3 stacks of Beskar ingot. Right? What does Beskar ingot do? Let's review. At 3 stacks, 100% counter chance and can't be critically hit. So if they're counterattacking, they're attacking at a turn, they're building up 25% crit damage stacks. Yeah, whenever a Mandalorian ally attacks at a turn, So that could be really beneficial, and that could be also very, very beneficial for the person that you're going to be taunting with using ancestral armor. So it is counterattack and can't be critically hit. But this 2 stacks might even be good for that tank. 1 stack might even be good. They're all good. These are all good tank stats. But the 100% counter chance specifically helps this team because then they're going to be ramping up max crit damage. So next, let's discuss Sabine Wren. So Sabine Wren got a little bit of a tweak to her kit. She got a touch-up. So, and it's this ability right here, which is the Zeta. You know, for those of you that ever wanted a Zeta, your Sabine Wren, this is probably going to do it, because you're going to want this. What does it do? Deal physical damage to all enemies, stagger them for 2 turns, and expose the target enemy for 2 turns. Okay, expose is the weakest part of this kit, in my opinion, of this ability, in my opinion. For each active Mandalorian ally, ignore the Phoenix, deal 15% more damage and expose another random enemy. I think I'm reading that wrong. Mandalorian allies gain crit chance up and offense up for 2 turns. If this attack scores a crit hit, reduce by 2. And remember, her unique is she's got plus 20% critical chance. So Sabine is going to be, I think, a really good damage dealer. People forget Sabine's kit. This inflicting armor shred is going to help with the armor, gaining Beskar ingots to get them out there to your whole team. So that she's going to pair really well with the armor. And then remember, she's going to do a lot of damage. She deals physical damage to target enemy twice. This attack scores additional hits for each of the following: less than 7% turn meter, less than 30% turn meter, and the target is debuffed. Hits after the first one deal 75% less damage. So she can hit a lot with her basic. Right. So Sabine, in my opinion, is a no-brainer. You're going to want Bo-Katan, the armor, Sabine. Now, what they like to say Canderous Ordo, but I'm not sold on Canderous yet. Gar Saxon is a no-brainer in my opinion. He wasn't listed on the synergies, or on the recommended team comp, but no one's ever used him. And look at up here, Gar Saxon. He's a tank. He is a Mandalorian tank without a taunt until Bo-Katan. I think that they built him or her kit with him in mind. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, what is his mastery? Armor, health steal, and protection. So I'm going to be working on him. His ship is great anyway, especially when they're at relics. So this just gives you the incentive to finally relic him. People forget, what does he do? So he's going to deal physical damage, and he's going to inflict speed down. If the target already has speed down, reduces cooldowns by 1. Remember that her kit is a call to assist, attacking at a turn, so there's probably a good chance he is going to be attacking characters with speed down on them already, so he is going to be reducing his cooldowns by 1. His first special, which has a long cooldown, but it can be reduced, it strips turn meter. Enemies that had, he deals double damage, first of all, to enemies with less than 50% turn meter, but you're going to build them tank. Enemies that had at least 50% turn meter lose. So he's going to be stripping turn meter, but only from people that have 50% turn meter or lower. So, but still, good. I wish they gave him his Clone Wars armor. That armor was stellar. This is Rebels armor. Leader, don't care. Don't Zeta it. You're not going to use it. His spot is going to be with Bo-Katan. So whenever another ally attacks during an enemy turn, now there's the rub. Gar Saxon has a 100% chance to assist. So, if you put the triple stack of Beskar ingots on somebody, they're going to be attacking during an enemy turn. So, that's why I think you shouldn't put it on him, or I'm leaning that way. I'm just kind of spitballing. Just put it on somebody that's going to be hit. He's going to be assisting whenever that person counterattacks. And whenever he assists, if we look at her, if we look at her unique, Bo-Katan's unique, whenever a Mandalorian attacks out of turn, they recover 8% health and protection. So that's why I think he's going to be great, because he's going to be assisting. He's going to be giving the whole team an extra 8% health and protection. And he's a tank, so I built him like a tank. And he's going to be able to pop that ancestral armor and taunt with defense up, tenacity up, and yeah. So how did I get him built? So I don't have the best mods kicking around, but protection, 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 defense or protection. I recommend all protection primaries on this guy with some defense, health. Tenacity is less important because with ancestral armor you can cleanse yourself. But I only had, with scraping the bottom of the barrel with my mods, I had tenacity sets. At least, see, this one's got 14 speed, so. For now, it's tenacity, but ideally I'd like defense, since he is now a taunting tank. Now, Gar Saxon, with Gar Saxon, you want a Relic Imperial Super Commando strictly for the ship, but I think that he could actually be kind of decent under Bo-Katan. So if he's called to assist, he's inflicting offense down. And then he's going to attack again if they had less than 50% turn meter. Now, I don't know if that counts as an out-of-turn attack, but if it does, then he's feeding protection and health to the team. Superior Tactics. Deal physical damage to the target enemy, dispel all buffs on them, and inflict buff immunity. That is kind of a clutch ability to have in a team's toolkit, to dispel and inflict buff immunity. Alright, so anybody that's taunting, tag him with that. I think that's good. And then his unique is he has 60% counter chance. And he gets a whole bunch of offense for each enemy with no buffs. Which, if you remember, Bo-Katan's first special is a mass dispel. It's going to get rid of all the buffs. So he is going to be, I think, a decent damage dealer. And every time he attacks, he counterattacks, he's going to be calling in Gar Saxon. And what's funny about that is if he counterattacks, so he's going to attack at a turn. Gar is going to attack at a turn. So that's 2 attacks at a turn, which means 16% health and protection to all Mandalorians. So I think this guy is going to pair quite well. Just because of how he works. What is his mastery? His mastery kind of sucks, actually. It's the accuracy, damage, and defense penetration one. So right now, you're going to want to mod all these guys for crit damage with crit damage triangles, just because they're going to be gaining that stacking crit, or 25% crit damage. For now, though, I only got offense. I'm really limited on crit damage triangles. So that is what I'm originally thinking. This is going to be the team. So I am now working on that team. The other Mandalorian characters. So, yeah, Jango, I don't want to pull off the bounty hunters. Mandalorian, the old Mandalorian, again, don't want to pull them off the bounty hunters. I don't. I have them. I have both of them relics, but I don't want to use them. Canderous. I don't know about Canderous. They touched up his kit as well, so he gets extra health steal and potency for each Mandalorian and Scoundrel. So he's a Scoundrel. Bo-Katan is a Scoundrel. So that's going to be what, 50, 60, 70% health steal. So he's going to get a lot of health steal, and he's going to be attacking a lot. I just. You know, these aren't attacks at a turn. You know, if he attacks for a third time or a second time, I don't know if those count as out of a turn attacks. Part of me just wants to have a full team of Mandalorians that all wear Mandalorian helmets. And I think people are all hot and horny on this guy, and everyone was for Beskar Mando too. But he didn't pan out that way. We didn't seem to use him. We used Nest and Cara Dune, not Canderous Ordo. Not that he's not good. I got him modded decently, and he's close to Relic, but I see better use out of these 4 Mandalorians. But whatever you guys think, run them as you will. So that's Bo-Katan Kryze, ladies and gentlemen. Disregard this. That looks like the freaking Joker from The Dark Knight. Like, hopefully that gets better. Because, like, this is pure Katie Sackhoff. That is awesome. That is wicked. This does not look great. I don't know if they were being cheeky, because remember, we were always saying that Sabine Wren kind of looked like the Joker. You know, they made her look a little bit better, but she used to look really messed up. She had a broken face. They kind of fixed her a little bit, but now they kind of gave that broken face over to our girl, Katie Sackhoff, Cara Thrace. I almost said Cara Dune. Cara Thrace. But in battle, she's going to have her helmet on anyway, so she's going to look really cool when you're using her. How are you going to mod her? I think you want the majority of your attackers to be able to crit damage, crit chance. You know, I'm assuming at Relic they're going to have decent crit chance, so crit damage and health. As you see, she has crit chance, crit damage, and damage as her mastery. She's a pure attacker. So is Sabine. Gar's a tank, and Imperial Super Commando is like a support attacker. He is an attacker, but he's got this weird defense penetration, accuracy, and damage mastery. So I think this team is going to be really awesome. I think they're going to have decent survivability, but they're going to have to move really fast, because if the opposing enemy, say like a CLS, is going to be able to take this down really easy. Just burn Bo-Katan off the bat, kill her, and this team falls apart. So CLS is going to be a good counter, but again, you're going to be running this on offense, I think. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what this can take down. You know, Arnold's going to do it when he does this tomorrow. The event is tomorrow, or Thursday, March 18th. Again, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. So watch Arnold's stream to get a sense of what this team can do. But this is the comp I want to kind of run, because then that leaves my Mandalorian Scoundrel team intact. It leaves my Bounty Hunters intact. Kenris Ordo can go jump off a cliff. Not going to use him. Unless he's excellent, unless he's a must. But we'll see about that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap that up. So hope you liked this video. If you want to see me do more kit reveals and a little bit of an analysis on characters, please say so in the comments, and we'll consider it. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Cheers.